Hey, you guys, welcome back. So today is not going to be really any new material. I just want to review with you some things and also give you some helpful hints because some of you guys are already turning in your film review assignment, which is awesome, but I noticed that there was some confusion with one of the sections, so I just want to clarify. I want to give you details on the screenwriting competition. So this is just something I want to tell you about to help motivate you as we get closer to actually starting to write our screenplays. So, I want to check in with you first. So, first of all, remember that tomorrow by midnight or 11:59 p.m., your choice assignment is due. And you have a lot of choice. I mean, that's why it's called a choice assignment, but do make sure that you're including the correct things. So, if you're reviewing a video game, make sure that you do include the title and the rating of the video game, include the plot, include characters or character, Um, also the lore. So don't forget about that section. So what are the special characteristics of your video game's world? What makes it unique? So that's with a review, but it's really the same thing with the design. So you're including that lore also, like a character example, a basic plot, a basic title, or a title, and you can present this through a PowerPoint, Google Slides, basically any format that you can get this to me in, and you can turn it in. And you will turn that in on Google Classroom. I do have an assignment up for you to turn that into. Okay, for the podcast, make sure if you're reviewing, you're including again your title of both the podcast and the episode. Basic plot, basic plot of the specific episode. So, for example, one of my favorite podcasts is called Crime Junkie. So the plot of the podcast in general is that they take real cases that are unsolved and tell you about them. But then each episode, of course, has a different plot. So one might be about the Burger Chef murders. I think I talked about that one in class. So that's the difference between that. If you are designing your own podcast, include the same things. So you're including your title, the basic plot of the podcast. Also, a genre is really helpful for both of these. So is it true crime? Is it fiction? Is it interview style, like documentary, that kind of thing? Okay, so if you guys have questions about that, you know where to find me. Okay, so the thing that a lot of people were getting confused about is the want and the need of the protagonist. So there is a difference, and I went over that when we talked about Lion King and Simba's want versus Simba's need. So Simba's need, and let me just jump here. Let me jump to the next slide first, and I'll come back to this one. So Simba's need. So let's talk about that first. So it's more of an internal thing. So again, it's more of something that you would go to a therapist for. So the need to feel like he's living up to his father's wishes, the need to fulfill that. It's often unknown to the character. So it's not something that character is talking about necessarily. They're just doing things that make you know that that's something that they're going through psychologically. It also is something that typically drives the theme of the movie. So, again, like with Simba, one of the themes is coming to terms with the ghosts of our past and not running away from our ghosts. That directly feeds into that. Heart, again, it's something that is heartfelt, and again, something that's very emotional, and it's universal. So we can all relate to the feeling of trying to live up to something, I think. So that's the difference in the need and the want. And the want, again, so it's more external. It's more unique to the character. So for Simba, for example, he wants adventure and he wants to seek out danger. That's probably not universal to all of us. That's just really specific to his character, especially in the ways that he seeks out danger. He'll go to an elephant graveyard. Like that's not something we do on a daily basis, as opposed to these kinds of things which we may struggle with on a daily basis. The want is very known to the character. Like the character knows what they want. Like Simba knew that he wanted to go to the elephant graveyard. With the plot, again, like it's a known point, and it drives the plot. So because Simba wants to run away from his past, he like that changes the plot. Fun, so it's typically like the more like fun thing to listen to as opposed to, again, like the very deep heartfelt thing. There's a great link to a video which I'm gonna put the on Google Classroom under material, and I will like put this image with it too so you know what it is, but definitely check this out because it's super helpful. And in fact, I like grabbed these images straight from that video, and I grabbed this straight from that video as well. Okay, last but not least, I wanted to tell you about the screenwriting competition through Georgia Film Academy. So I just copied and pasted this email from Josh Lee, who's our Georgia Film Academy contact. So it says, this year in partnership with Chris Burra and then the Screen Actors Guild. So this is like the actual Screen Actors Guild, like every actor that you know of that's famous is part of this. And the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. The Georgia Film Academy is hosting a screenwriting competition for all students and teacher screenwriters across the state. The top 3 student and top 1 teacher screenplays will be selected by a panel of screenwriting professionals and be awarded the Student Emmys at Pinewood on August 29th, 2020. So as far as that date goes, I don't see why this shouldn't still go on. I know that they're talking about possibly through, May, things being low-key, but by August 29th, we should be hopefully up and rolling again in this world. So I think this is a really good thing to shoot for if you are interested. So the student winners will receive the Georgia Film Academy's Chris Burrow Award for Excellence in Dramatic Screenplay Writing, which includes a $1,000 University System of Georgia scholarship. So that could take you anywhere from Chat Tech to the University of Georgia. So anything that's a University of System of Georgia school. That does not include private schools, I don't think, but I can get clarity on that. Second place will get $500, and then for actually the third place will also get $500. So that's pretty awesome. Students will also receive a table read by professional actors led by professional director in partnership with SAG and AFTRA. So that is pretty amazing. Okay, eligibility and guidelines. So obviously, like, only screenplays you've written in this class will count. Only 1 student submission per school. So I will have to have some kind of a process where I choose between the ones from last semester and you guys. But still, I think you should submit it for that purpose, because how awesome would that be if yours got chosen? So no longer than 15 pages in length, and I'll go over that when we get into the like specific screenwriting assignment, but our assignment will fit all of these guidelines, so you don't have to worry about that. School appropriate, so just make sure that what you're writing would, like, if you were to put it in front of Mr. Wallace, you wouldn't feel awkward. So whatever you're writing, make sure it's school appropriate. There are no specific requirements for theme, character, or genre, and the finalists will be expected to be present on August 29th at Pinewood Studios. So Pinewood is just south of Atlanta, and I can definitely take you there if you win. So the award ceremony is open to the public, and we encourage you to invite your students and families. So that's all I've got for today. Hopefully this was a little bit of motivation for you, and I will continue to talk about this as we progress. So hope you guys have a great day.